here's what we're seeing. A couple of products in the $25 range doing quite well. So what are they doing that we need to fix or mimic? And I'm not seeing a lot of the seat organizer like yours.
That was the first one. And it's, I mean, it's exact same position as mine. Honestly, when I first saw it, I had to look twice. I was like, wait a minute, that's not mine.
We should probably change the title and look at which keywords are resonating with consumers and rework the listing. So car seat net organizer seems like the most important so far, and it's very descriptive. And that's also what we've put onto the main image for a keyword, which I think is congruent, which is good. Maybe move seat caddy to the very end of the title, or maybe even get rid of it if there's a better keyword. But I would probably lead with car seat net organizer based on that one observation. So you've got 461 index keywords and 4 paid, and it's very hard to justify spending money on paid keywords right now in your situation, understandably. The more PPC you push, obviously, the more sales will go up. But when we look at where you're positioned really well and try and figure out, which keywords are organically ranked, and ironically, Seat Caddy at position 12, but only a search volume of 250. So looking at the number one lookalike product, so their chart mirrors yours. Their sales started tanking right at the same time. That would tell me from an unbiased position. It tells me it's a market issue, not a listing issue. Meaning the market is telling us they're not interested in this product. And that's really hard to hear sometimes. The choices that you have in front of you are reposition the product, which I think you should try before you close the door on this. The alternative to that is launch the next product. You might be able to recreate the next caddy and coattail off the other guys and go where the market's going. And if you do that in the next 3 to 6 months, then you might be able to hit the market and regain your footing. And every seller goes through this at some point. Every product has a shelf life, and we may have just met or hit you at the end of the shelf life, and that's unfortunate. What's the ACoS in the account, if I can ask? Just the historical average, whatever you remember.
16.
That's actually really good.
Is it?
That's really good. With a home good item under $20, I would go up to 35% all day, no problem. And in some instances, I might go slightly higher than that because every PPC sale you get 3 organic sales within 6 months, and it usually pays for itself. At a 16%, and feel free to double check it and go look at it, but I would give this advice blindly to anybody to try and advertise at break even, because the organic sales that you get from those ads are extraordinarily beneficial. That piece of information, may change some of my analysis, because if you're getting that good of a result, it may not feel good to you, but from the doctor's standpoint, from me diagnosing it, it looks good. You're the patient, and you'd be like, well, yeah, but my knee still hurts. You can take away from that however you want. But if we look at the number one guy in seat caddies, 4,600 keywords organically indexed and 1,100 paid. They seem to have figured out how to make this work. They're the number one, and what are they doing right? So when we look at the data, Backseat Organizer has 1,400 search volume. I think with Seat Caddy had 250. This alone tells us 6 times the market for Backseat Organizer. What this tells me is you're not seeing the category shrink. Looking at 2 or 3 keywords may not be a full conclusion on this, but it's directionally helpful for us to come in. Your sales are down. There's no question about it. Are there the same amount of people searching the product? Seems to be yes, but there are more options for somebody to buy from. When we look at that equation and we solve for X, it's just purely a competitor issue. Your competitor is at $12.99 and only selling the same amount as you at 200 units a month in a best case scenario. They were at sales rank 126 2 or 3 weeks ago. They were selling nothing. The difference here is they didn't change a price, and it could be that there was a coupon or a promotion code that we can't see visibly in the tracking for some reason, but they're also at $12.99 permanently, supposedly. My diagnosis for this is it's a competitor problem. The solution would be to reposition the product so you're not compared against that $12.99 option. Maybe the main image needs to run some A/B tests to decide what item to put in it, whether it's a backpack or a purse, which one's better. Maybe you need to showcase what you do in image 2 here in image 1 somehow.
So I did the A/B test with this that you have there right now with the 2 pieces in it.
When we run these polls to find out, okay, should I show the packaging in a shot or not? This one clearly won in a landslide, right? So this is why we run pick-through polls or A/B tests to find out, because this can be very revealing on how to display information. Here's an obvious poll, like anybody ever could have predicted the outcome of this. If you
Oh, okay.
showcase the hair better, it's going to win, right? On a dog hair removal product. If we go over to Amazon right now and type in car seat net organizer and go to Amazon.com and type that in, here is what the consumer's seeing. And great, your ad shows up in slot 2, always a good thing. But here's what everybody is seeing. So if you're the shopper and you're the consumer, where does your eye go? Unfortunately for me, it's going here to the yellow, because the yellow is different than everybody else's. But yours wins number 2 in my mind because of the keyword. Your job is to say, hey, which one's more likely to be get clicked on? So we run some polls to see, and okay, what changes do we need to make? Do we need to put different colors? Do we need to put a different object? Can somebody tell this is a purse, or does it need to look more like that? We may discover that a composite beats a real shot. That may be the next genesis or step for your product or your item, is we just need to run a composite version of the item. What do you know today that you wish you knew when you first started selling on Amazon?
Price lower and work up to the price level that I'd like to be. In hindsight, probably would have obviously sold a lot more at a lower price, although we did well.
But if you do want to keep trying, here's what I would do. I would focus on the main image first. I'd run some A/B tests. I would try repositioning what shows in the main image and start there. And then the things that are easiest to do: title, main image. Secondary images would come after that. Whatever the data can display based on who we're selling to can dictate the outcome to those solutions. Data, testing, and trying that. You've already done the price reduction and you're right back to where you were before you started. The other thing too is you could decide to do nothing. Your sales might just go up naturally. You create a PPC campaign with the keywords like gifts for mom, and this thing just crushes it and takes off. That's another possibility too. So the world is your oyster. You have full control to decide, the fate of the item. If you're open to launching new products, you might decide to go down that path. I think if you talk to a lot of other Amazon sellers, that a lot of them will tell you that their second, third, fourth product was the real wealth generator product, right? Not very many people launch one product and just make it, right? Sometimes it's Genesis 2 and 3 that does it.
Selling on Amazon doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to make it easy for you. Just scan the QR or click the link in chat.